All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Charles Gaudet, and welcome to today's presentation. So today, I want to take you through LinkedIn Sales Navigator and how we use it in conjunction with the ultimate outbound prospecting strategy. So here I am inside of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So here we go. Go over here to my man, Zach Burks. Let's say we're prospecting Zach. Go over here, click on View in Sales Navigator. And there Zach pulls up right there. And then we're going to save. And here we have our lead lists. Here's my recommendation. If you're going to be targeting whatever an industry it is, let's say you're targeting agencies, you'll put an agency, and then you'll put the date. So I have a team that does the prospecting for me, so I'm not always that active when it comes to this stuff. That's why you might not see as many leads as maybe you have inside of your LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but I still want to be able to show you how to do this. So you come over and you'd put a name, agency, or if you're targeting SaaS companies, you put SaaS, whatnot, and you'd put the date. Okay, so you're going to create a lead list. I believe the lead lists, if I can recall correctly, that cap out at about 200 or 250, something like that per lead list. So that's why we have multiple. Agency, agency 2, agency 3, you would have the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's add Zach. We'll just add him over here to this test list. And we'll save an account. Save him as Predictable Profits. Okay, so there we go. So we just saved Zach to that list. So you're going to go ahead with everybody inside of your lead list, and you're going to create these lists. Okay, and then here's what ends up happening. Every morning, you're going to get up, or your team's going to get up, and you're going to load LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and this is what you're going to find. We're going to come over here. We're going to go to Leads, Alert Types. We're going to click on Lead Shares. And there we go. So this is everybody that has shared a post. And we're going to go through and we're going to click on View. And we're going to like. We're going to comment where necessary, share if it's appropriate, and so forth. Remember, what we're doing is we're giving them engagement. We're giving a dopamine hit. They are becoming familiar with who we are. And so we're doing all of this before we actively connect with our prospect. Okay, because remember, the three most critical factors for making a sale is people have to know you, like you, and trust you. If you look at my man Mark over here, he has 17 people who have engaged with his post. Now, I don't know if that's typical for Mark or whatnot, but what I can tell you is I don't often get hundreds of likes or hundreds of engagements. I may get 10, 12, maybe 20. But because it's so small, I happen to know who's liking and who's engaging with my stuff on a regular basis. And through that, I start to establish a relationship with these people. I start to like them. And familiarity breeds trust. So the more I see the name, the more I start to trust them. This is why this process is so effective and so powerful. So we're going to come through. We're just going to hit View. And we're going to like and comment where necessary. Now look at this. You see Laura? Right now there's nobody who's engaged. She's going to see my name. And of course, if I were liking and if I was to comment, and I would if I had more time to read it and share it, that's only going to increase the relationship. Okay, so there we go. So that is step number one. You're going to do that every day. You're going to notice it's organized by when they last posted. So you may find roughly only about 30% in general of people will post on a regular basis. It won't take you very long to go ahead and engage with them at that level. Okay, so that's step number one. Now let's look at some other ways in which we use LinkedIn Sales Navigator as well. Well, let's jump on with Mark again. Let's say I was targeting Mark. Now I happen to know Mark. Mark's a brilliant man, has a wonderful, wonderful company. Let's say for whatever reason, I was going to be targeting Mark. And let's assume Mark has one of those companies where he doesn't just make a decision by himself. Let's assume there's multiple decision makers that are going to be involved in this decision. You oftentimes find this with larger corporations. The way that we want to figure out who all the decision makers are, so we'll come over here and we'll click on the company name. You can see here it says 8 decision makers. I'm going to click on the decision makers and find everybody relevant to the decision. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm also going to save them. Click over here, save, and I'm going to save them to a test list as well. The reason why we're doing this is familiarity breeds trust. If we know that companies make decisions by committee, I not only want to retarget these people, throwing different ads so that they see me everywhere, I also want to make sure that I'm engaging with them on LinkedIn. Familiarity breeds trust, and people do business with people they know, like, and trust, so I also want people to know me. If they don't know me, and they're also interviewing multiple different companies, it's going to make things far more difficult for me to be able to succeed. Okay, so that's another advantage of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So as a quick recap, right? So we're coming over here, getting up in the morning, we're going over to leads, alert types, lead shares, and there we go. We're liking, commenting, and engaging where necessary. When there's multiple decision makers involved, we're going to click on the name, we're going to come over there, and we're going to find who the decision makers are by clicking on decision makers. There's also a lot of, when we want to customize our communication, make it more personal, come over here to news and insights. Sometimes there's going to be news and insights there, which is really great, right? In this case, it's not. That's okay. So here's another way to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And you know, we were talking about Mark. Let's just pick somebody else. Let's pick the other Mark. Another great guy, super guy, very smart individual. So let's say we're going to target Mark Rickmeyer, and let's just assume for a minute that we've been trying to get in touch with him, and for whatever reason, we're just having a very difficult time getting him to respond. We can always find out, who do we have in common with Mark? In this case, Amy is a first connection that we have in common with Mark. So I can always reach out to Amy, ask Amy if she would mind providing me with an introduction to Mark. So that's one way, especially powerful if we're going to reach companies, larger companies that are very difficult to break through gatekeepers, very difficult to get in contact with people. Introductions are a wonderful way to do that. And here's another way that we can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can come over here and click on messaging and then go Sales Navigator inbox. This is where at some point in our process, you've been given a strategy to use LinkedIn voice drops. Now, a LinkedIn voice drop, you can only connect with them from your mobile phone and only if they're first degree connection. But now let's assume that they haven't connected with you. What do you do next? This is where you would, at that same step of the LinkedIn voice drop, you'd come over here to messaging, LinkedIn Sales Navigator inbox, go to new message. Now you're only given a limited number of these per month. You'd come over here, go Zach Burks. There we go. And then we would type in a message. Now I'm already connected with Zach, so it actually isn't gonna, I can send unlimited message because I'm connected with Zach. Let's find somebody else who I might not be connected with. Let's just choose somebody, Heather. There we go. So I'm not connected with Heather. So I have 1 of 59 remaining credits. I already used 1 this month. So they give me 60 per month. So I just send a message and that would go directly over to Heather. Okay, so it would make her way into her inbox. So that is another way. So here's one more way that you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And this is if you're not already using a source like TaskDrive, you want to find some leads on your own, or you just want to supplement the leads that you're getting from your lead source and find them on your own anyway. Just come over here, and now we can filter our search. So here's some of the suggestions. Geography. United States is a great search. Canada, United States is often more noisy. Canada will be less noisy. Canada's a great, great, great market. Don't be afraid to experiment with other countries. But I just pick United States. You can even choose the individual state if you wanted. Relationship. I'm already connected with first degrees, so maybe I want to start with my second degrees. Highly recommend that you niche down to a very specific industry. It's going to help your messaging be more poignant. So we'll choose marketing and advertising in this case. Profile language. I only speak English, so I'm going to just choose English here. Tenure level. You can choose whatever it is. If you're going to reach the owners, we're going to hit owners there, but you can also come over here to title. And let's say we're going to go to Chief Executive Officer. Let's say we might also want to reach founders. So now we have 14,000 results. Okay, you could change, you can have your years in position, years at current company, experience, different functions, especially if you're going to be selling marketing services or whatnot, you could just tie it into there. You can leave it a little bit more broad. That's going to be up to you. You see there's, different companies or organizations, headcount. It's very common for us to say, okay, well, maybe a little more established company, you can just, guess it. They have over 11 employees. They don't have a revenue range, so we can tend to guess a little bit with headcount. Okay, you could groups and the whole deal. But this is generally at the high level what we're looking for. Now let's just say, okay, well, we have 5,000 results. That's a lot of people to reach out to. Let's be as more specific as possible. Let's just assume, let's just play around for a bit. Say we want to reach digital marketing agencies so that we're very clear. We're going to hit digital marketing. And there we go. Now it's reduced down to 3,500, right? So let's go over here to search. And now we have a whole bunch of people here. Now, part of our preheating phase is that we really want to work with people that are engaged with, that we can engage with, right? So with 3,500, if we're going to look at the cream of the crop, we're going to say, okay, anybody that is posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. Now, there's a lot of things that we can choose, shared experiences with me that might allow us to establish a little bit more rapport, but posted on 30 days. And then we can go through here. We can select all. We can save to a list. Keep in mind that when you select all, you're only selecting the people on the first page here. So you'd have to go from page to page to page to page. Okay, so you could do that. Let's say Patrick is an ideal client. You can come over here and say, oh, you know what? He's awesome. Let's go to view similar. And now we've just created very similar to Patrick, which is just a great way to be able to find more, dig deeper into your ideal type clients. Let's say now that I found him, this ideal list, there's 100 total results, select all, save to list. Save it, test list, right? So again, great way to preheat with people. And there's a few other things. One thing that I just want to mention, when we're preheating people, we're not connecting with them yet. What we're doing is we're just establishing a relationship. We're not asking them for a connection. If they connect with us, great, we'll accept it. But in the beginning, we're just liking, commenting, engaging. And that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Be more than happy to support you in any way. That wraps up today's video. This is Charles Godet. We'll see you in another training.